And I feel that the best way to do your job as a chief is to be up front with your people.
Video evidence has presented us with proof of operations. We believe in being above board on everything we do. We try to make sure we're doing everything right and being open to the public about what we do. And so video evidence allows us to be able to show individuals, the violations, the quality of policing that we do in our small community. It gives us accountability. It gives the citizens accountability. Biggest reason, too, I think, is the citizen complaints. It's very important for us to get to the bottom of those complaints when they come in. And when they come in, sometimes they're pretty egregious and sometimes they're pretty far out there. But the video evidence has always been a savior for us. It proves that, in fact, almost all of them, I can't recall any that we've had that were proven to be true, that the officer had some sort of misconduct, and to me that says a lot.
When an incident happens and someone says something different, what a great way to find out the truth. You bring the video up. I really believe that's part of my transparency plan also, because now I know that anything that these officers are involved in and we're questioned on, I have that. I have that evidence. I have that video. So if I need to get something to prove to the public or even to a defense attorney that this is the true story, this is what happened, I have it. I have in-car video, and I want to have the body camera video.
It utilizes a 4K image sensor and a very wide-angle field of view, and then we use a technology called overscanning that allows us to do a number of tricks. One of the tricks is we can de-warp the image. We're all familiar with how very wide-angle fields of view, you end up with barrel distortion, where walls are curved in those images. With V300, we can map out that curvature electronically. So you have very square-looking images that look fantastic. The other thing that the overscanning allows us to do is to automate the turret function. So our current body camera has a mechanical turret, so that if the camera is mounted at an angle on the officer's body that's not pointing straight ahead, you can dial the lens down so you have a nice horizontal view. With V300, that's done electronically and automatically. And lastly, the mounting system for V300 is revolutionary as well. It utilizes a new magnet technology that's about 4.5 times stronger than any other magnet mounting system in the industry. So
it's created more accountability among law enforcement.
The ways that officers will usually frustrate the camera's recording ability is where they'll place the camera on their person. They'll tend to put it inside their jacket. And if there's movement or a lot of movement, the lapel of the jacket will cover the lens. So you don't see anything, or you see a small sliver of the video over here. They tend to like to cover the lens up when they're turning it on or off, so you lose some of the video there.
Cited Officer Richard Romero, Jr., charges of misconduct and fabricating evidence. The State's Attorney's Office says this stems from the evidence tampering that was captured on his body-worn camera in January of last year. Now, attorneys say the video shows the officer walking into a southwest Baltimore alley and finding a bag of heroin. But after about 30 seconds before, on that same clip, the officer can be seen hiding the bag in a Coke can. Defense attorneys claim the evidence was planted. Prosecutors didn't pursue charges against 3 officers in a separate body-worn camera incident from last June, which involved the alleged reenactment of evidence recovery. Now, the police department has issued a statement saying the officer in question has been suspended since the incident occurred. Policy says the officers must keep their cameras on from the beginning of an event until that event is over, and they have left the scene to ensure that if any additional police actions take place since the incident occurred, policy says the officers must keep their cameras on from the beginning of an event until that event is reenactment of evidence recovery. Now, the police department has issued a statement saying the officer in question has of evidence recovery. Now, the police department, the alleged reenactment of evidence recovery. Now, the police department has issued a statement saying the officer in question has been suspended since the incident occurred. Policy says the officers must keep their cameras on from the beginning of an event until that event is over.
This is the video jurors saw during Karen Reed's first murder trial, showing her SUV being pulled into the Canton Police Department hours after prosecutors say she used it to hit and kill John O'Keefe. But the video the jurors saw was inverted, so what appears to be the passenger side is in fact the driver's side. Reed's defense claimed that the switch was done on purpose.
The timestamp across the bottom is not inverted, which means somebody had to put that on the inverted, the manipulated, the altered video on purpose.
That's one of the reasons the defense now wants the judge to dismiss the case. But in a new filing, the prosecution says the video was inverted, quote, due to the camera's settings. and that police have found 2 other videos shot by the same camera a few weeks earlier that are also inverted.
I think it's a credible explanation, maybe should have been provided sooner, but it certainly can happen. Anyone who deals with this knows it can happen. And the prosecution right now has to convince the judge that none of this was intentional on their part.
The prosecution has not explained why investigators on the witness stand did not mention that the video was inverted, not until the defense pointed it out. The video is important mainly for what it does not show, the passenger side tail light, which prosecutors claim was already shattered by this point because they say that's the part of the SUV that hit O'Keefe. The defense, however, claims the taillight was only busted after it arrived at the police department, allegedly by dirty cops. Now, the prosecution's filing today also claims that that camera inside the garage that shot the SUV was defective and that it has since been changed. All of this is likely to be discussed at a hearing in the Karen Read case next week.